Last Thursday, former Governor Jim Hunt passed away. Governor Hunt was a singular figure in modern North Carolina history, and to understand North Carolina politics in 2025, you gotta understand what Jim Hunt did and why it mattered. Now, I've looked at our analytics. I know a lot of you guys watching skew younger. A lot of this was before your time. Some of it was before my time too, but we gotta know our history. We gotta know where our state comes from, so listen up. The North Carolina that Jim Hunt grew up in over in Wilson County was a vastly different state than it is today. The racial segregation was still the rule. There was much, much more poverty, and a lot of North Carolinians were still basically subsistence farmers living hand to mouth. In 1950, when Jimmy Hunt was 13, only 1 in 5 North Carolinians finished high school, and among women or black residents, that number was a lot lower. North Carolina was just a very poor and unequal and unjust state that offered its people very little opportunity, and that was the world that Jim Hunt came up in. Fun story here, when Jimmy Hunt was a teenager, he met his future wife, Carolyn. Problem was, she lived on a farm in Iowa, so to visit her, Jimmy Hunt would hitchhike for 36 hours straight with a switchblade in his pocket for protection. When they say the 50s was a different time, that's what they mean. Jim Hunt worked on Terry Sanford's gubernatorial campaign in the 60s, and then when he was governor in the 70s and 80s, Hunt used his office to invest in public education and infrastructure, and he was just a very moderate and pragmatic leader who sometimes annoyed both the conservatives and the liberals. Just like Terry Sanford before him, one of the big things that Jim Hunt did was he drove the old segregationist Dixiecrats out of the party. They had to go find another party to vote for. And in their place, Jim Hunt built the North Carolina Democrats into a truly multiracial coalition that could still win statewide elections without the racists. But that strategy still had its limits, and it probably cost Jim Hunt the 1984 U.S. Senate election against Jesse Helms, who was a nasty racist to his core. There's a clear connecting line between Kerr Scott, Terry Sanford, Jim Hunt, and later Roy Cooper, who were all moderate Southern leaders who were progressive not so much in the modern political sense, but more in the sense that they believed in progress. They believed in the potential for government to be better, to expand opportunity, and to help improve people's lives, as they all did. A lot of things have changed about our politics since then, but a lot of things haven't. Jim Hunt was a politician who showed us why character really matters, decency matters, ideas matter. He showed us why politics matters and what power can do when it's in the right hands. He was a giant for North Carolina and an example for us all to follow.